What's up, YouTube? Welcome to the channel. Today we're working on a BMW E90 and we're going to replace the oil filter housing gasket because it is leaking. Let's jump right into it. So the oil filter housing on the BMW E90 is located right here. You can see on the bottom there's a little bit of seepage that's happened on top as well. The main area you can see where it's leaking is in between the intake manifold. Then it leaks onto the bottom of the car, therefore leaking onto the garage floor. So, creating a pretty big mess, but luckily it is a very easy fix. There's a bolt located here, a bolt located here, and one bolt located right here. They're all E10s. It's easiest to use a wrench for this one, and they recommend taking the intake manifold off sometimes, but you can use extensions like I'll show you to get to this one. It's a very easy job. You can leave this connected. The first thing we're going to do is actually remove just the front part of the intake, the air intake, so we can pull this backwards once we get in here. We'll remove these sensors and undo these bolts. Keep in mind these are not regular sockets, they are E10s, so they are a different shape. You will need the socket like this to perform this job, or a wrench like this to perform this job as well. You can check the links in the bio below. I've left a full description of everything you need. So I don't actually have an E10 wrench, but I have this weird looking Craftsman wrench that actually fits very tightly. I'm going to use this at my own risk. For this, we're just using an E10 on a swivel to get to the back one. All right, now we're gonna start, we're gonna remove the clips. Remove those like so. Next we'll remove this E10 up here. Each of these bolts are longer too, so the longest one goes right on top. We're going to replace each of these as well too. I recommend replacing each of the bolts. They are aluminum. Work at your own risk, you know the rules. Alright, so we're going to take your wobble, your swivel, whatever you guys want to call it, a universal joint. So we're just going to go around. Put your hand in the intake manifold like so. Alright, so you're going to loop the wrench in and then onto the bolt back there. So then power tools speed things up too. You just don't want to go hard on them. They're nice and gentle. Grab it out from this side. So you see, the bolts are different lengths, so remember which way they go. It's even good to film yourself so you know what you're doing. Next, we're going to be removing the E10 down here. So this is where a box end comes in handy, because if you have a socket here, the socket will kind of bump into this coolant hose, then you got to remove it. So we'll just take the little socket here and this bolt will barely come out with this coolant line here too. But as you can see, all of the 3 bolts are different size here. Now I'm going to stuff a rag under here just in case there's some extra fluid left in here. I'll just keep it close by in case we start leaking. Now we can at least pop this back and get to the gasket. Now that all the bolts have been removed, we can now break this free. And as I suspected, she's going to leak like crazy, huh? Why does it want to leak so much? That sucks. And she ain't gonna stop pissing anytime soon. So you just gotta clean it up, really. So you can see this has been a problem for a while. This is my fiance's car. We just noticed it was leaking on the garage just recently. But this is the seal here. So we're gonna take this gasket out now, replace it with a new one. We're gonna get all this mess cleaned up. All that mess cleaned up. And Gonna get the show on the road. You can see where it's just been leaking for a while and just going straight down in there. Alright, so I'm just gonna spray a little brake cleaner on that path where the oil goes, just so I can chase it. I'm gonna rinse all this off later too, but kind of comes up in there. Alright, so I have my new gasket here, my new bolts. There's a link below in the description if you guys want to get these. I found these for super cheap online, so check it out. Now you can see it's just like hard plastic at this point. It's not even really like a gasket anymore. You see how one breaks and cracks? This one like, moves around freely. We're gonna clean out the inside of this now. So to clean the inside, I just use like a little bit of brake cleaner on a Q-tip. So I see a little bit of oil in here that's dripped down into the coolant area, just from when we removed it. So you don't really want that mixing with your coolant. Now that we have that cleaned up, we'll install our gasket. There's only one way for this gasket to go in. Very simple installation process. So we have the new one installed, pretty simple. Also, this gasket came in the box with this. This doesn't fit anything I'm working on, so if you actually know what this is, drop a comment in the comment section below. I could change it too. Shit, I don't know. I don't know if this car has that or not, but either way. So now it's just time. We're gonna clean up this residual right here, and then we're gonna reinstall this. All right, now that we have the surface ready, it's time for reinstallation. Remember, long bolt up first. And now we'll put the small bolt in the bottom. And the funnest bolt we'll put on that side. It's the one you don't want to drop, so careful with it. I like to put it on the socket head first, drop it in there after. I like to put it on the socket head and try to like meet around with my other hand, so I can kind of guide it in there. Let's see if I'm one take Jake today. There we go. Get in there, you little bugger. I gotta start with my fingers. I never like starting with tools for whatever reason. I'm not torquing the bolts down with this, guys. I'm literally just going just a hair into it, like so, and then I'm going to come back and torque everything accordingly. This bottom bolt here, you actually have to start halfway with your fingers because you can't get the wrench on it with this coolant hose in the way. It's recommended to take this coolant hose off to do this job, but I don't think anybody got time for that. Y'all got time for that? I don't got time for that. I got an engine to rebuild over here, as you guys saw in the beginning of the video, so. Remember guys, these are aluminum bolts. I think the foot-pounds of torque is between 17 and 20 foot-pounds of torque. You really don't want to go over that. If you snap one of these, you're going to have a bad day. Alright, so now that's hooked up, we can come back through and hook up our airbox and we are done with today's job. Well, that wraps up today's job, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. Hit that like and subscribe button if this video helped you. I'll have a few more videos coming out on this E90 before we sell it, but this is getting towards the end of its life here, so it's gonna go soon. Meanwhile, I do have my Audi A6 engine pulled out. This is getting all kinds of stuff redone on it and then put back in. And I'll be updating you guys on the transmission on the Audi A4 as well, because we will be getting that done soon. All kinds of great content coming soon. Hit that like and subscribe button. Thank you guys so much. I appreciate you. Keep watching.